Hello everybody, this is a bit of a different video. I haven't done a mega candle kind of experimental type project in a while, so I really wanted to try that out. But hold on to your britches because you're going for a ride. We go on a journey here. You can see me struggle through making this candle, but I was going for a retro kind of psychedelic vibe. So what I'm doing here is I'm pouring layers of wax. So I started off with a red layer. Now we're doing a purple layer, and I think I didn't film it, but I did a white layer also. The final layer I believe is going to be this yellow color. So you can see me pouring that here. Now this is where we really start to struggle. All of the techniques I'm doing in this video I've never done before, so I'm just trying to figure things out as I go. This is the first time I've ever made something like this. So what I'm trying to do now is kind of make like a Swiss roll out of wax. And if you're curious about the wax that I'm using, it is the cut and carve wax. I'll put it on the screen and leave a link down below, but it's typically the wax that you use when making carved candles. So the reason I chose this wax is because it's really pliable for quite a while, so you can like mold it and stuff. So I kind of made this Swiss roll, and you can see I'm using a knife to cut it, and now you can see all the beautiful colors there. So I'm going to continue cutting the wax up into these little Swiss rolls, I guess. Okay, so now I'm putting the wick in the containers. I have no idea if this is going to burn or not. It's not really intended to burn. A lot of people ask me if my mega candles burn all right. They're more for decorative purposes just because so much work goes into them. I'm probably never going to burn this, but I did use three, I think it was like LX18 wicks for this container, and the glass container I purchased from Michael's. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to create kind of a base to where I can position these little Swiss rolls around the container, and as you can see, the wax is still pretty pliable, so it's able to kind of bend and shape to the form of this container. So I'm trying to make the design kind of like this psychedelic swirly design that you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm struggling through making these little Swiss roll things. I should have used some type of mold release or maybe even wax paper at the bottom, so now I know if I ever do this again, I will have to line the pan or something. Okay, so at this point the design is really coming together, and as the video progresses I get less aware of the camera because I just start to panic, so I apologize for this camera angle, but it's really coming together. I think it looks really cool like this. So this is day 2, so I had to cut it off that night. What I'm doing now is pouring what is going to go inside the candle. So I wanted to let the candle sit for about a day so the wax would harden in the shape of the container, and obviously you can't pour wax into the middle because then it'll get in all the crevices and then it'll just mess up with the design on the outside. So I figured that I could stuff the candle with wax in the middle and no one would ever notice because it would be in the middle. So that's what I'm doing here. I just decided to go for a purple color, and again I'm just struggling through trying to get this out of the pan. I guess I didn't learn my lesson from the night before, so and then I'm balling the wax up and I'm going to put it inside of the candle. So it's a lot easier to work with the wax now that it's hardened over a day, so I didn't have to worry about the design or anything like falling apart. But this is where I really start to panic, you guys, and this was probably the hardest part of this candle, and it almost went downhill. So I'm actually going to start talking here in a bit on camera, but I'm talking to myself. I'm not even aware of the camera, so it's gonna be like me whispering and not really talking to the camera, but anyways, it's kind of funny. You guys, I'm at this point and I just really don't know what the end game here is. I'm just doing things. So let's just continue on. Ooh, now why did I not get this tool in the beginning? I waited till the very end, but okay. Wait. Wait. You guys, you live and you learn, because where was this tool at? I'm so silly. What do I do with this now? What do I do? It's a giant fruit roll up. Do I roll it up like a fruit roll up? Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing right now. What am I doing? Okay, we're not
we're not getting anywhere. This is strange. Okay, you know what? It kind of has, it's kind of, okay. We arrange them. Okay, let's make it level and then arrange everything. So I think that's what we need to be doing. It's just making it level. Just using the scrap pieces to make it level. And then we can arrange the swirlies, the swirly girlies on top. If we put the swirlies, I don't like this because from the side, the swirlies don't look that good. Okay. Maybe, y'all. Okay. Okay. It doesn't look good on top. No, it doesn't look good. Do you remember the time? Do you remember, girl? On the phone, you and me. Till dawn, 2, 3. What about us, girl? At this point, I'm just grasping at straws. Is what's really going on right now. Okay. We're gonna have to do an emergency situation here because at this point we're failing. We're failing at this point, so I think what I'm going to do is make the whole top kind of purple and then just, we can heat gun it. We can heat gun this situation. Okay, let's get the heat gun and see how we can rectify this hot mess of a situation.
Okay, so the heat gun really came through for me. So what I'm doing here is I have the heat gun on the lowest air setting and I'm just melting a little bit at a time and smoothing things out with my finger, just because if I melt it too much then I run the risk of it running down the sides and really messing up the design. So I spent some time here just to kind of flatten the candle out. Before we move on with the video, I wanted to thank today's sponsors, Skillshare. Now, if you aren't familiar with Skillshare, it is a platform where there are thousands of inspiring classes for creative people and entrepreneurs like myself. So I often like to go on to Skillshare and just kind of look at what's on their dashboard to see what's new, and I found a couple really cool classes. So the first one is from a YouTuber that I'm actually subscribed to, and her name is Hollis, and this class is on video for Instagram. Now, Hollis is really great at storytelling and filmmaking, so I encourage you to check that out. And the next class that I found is by Brooke Glazier, I believe, and it's called Make a Living as an Artist, Strategies for Crafting Your Creative Business. And this is a really, really great one if you're looking to monetize your creative career. Skillshare is curated for learning, so there are going to be no ads to interrupt your experience. And if you are interested in a free trial, go ahead and check out the link in my description. The first 1,000 people to click that will get a free trial of Skillshare. Thanks again.
So I think I somewhat salvaged the candle, you guys. The lights are kind of messing with me right now, but this is the top. Okay, so we were able to fill the candle with wax without pouring wax in, and then I flattened this down, and I think I might go back and flatten it some more. But what I did is I put it on the lowest air setting because I didn't want the flow of air to push the wax down into the decoration, which I did accidentally do that. You see what I mean? How it pushed the wax down. But I was able to kind of, you know, like that part still looks good. So there's wax in the candle, so you can still melt this candle, and it looks like wax was poured, but it really wasn't. So I'm gonna go home. It's 11 p.m. but I'm on a roll and I'm gonna go paint this. So let's see what happens.
Okay, so I went straight home and I started painting. So the paint I'm using is acrylic paint that you can use on glass. It's really hard to paint glass because it's not porous, so you have to paint in light or thin layers. And you can see here I was not painting in thin layers, so I got a lot of brush strokes and it just looked really gross, and plus I didn't really like the design in the end. So I actually ended up washing it off. So that's kind of the nice thing about painting on glass. While it's still wet, you can just wash it off with water. So I, did this design like 3 times before I was like, okay, we're gonna have to come up with something totally different because I just didn't like it. So I've settled on this pink checkerboard design, and it was really easy to paint in thin layers. So I painted a couple of layers of this pink, and I think it really contrasts well with the candle.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. I was really excited to try some new techniques, and I'm glad I did it because now I know what to do next time and how to make the process easier. So hopefully I can try something out similar in the future. Also, if you are interested in trying out Skillshare and getting that free trial membership, you can click the link down below. The first 1,000 people will get a free trial. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.